Merhabat, and welcome back to the Ottoman campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. So last time we won a pretty decisive victory over this American task force, but we didn't have enough ammo to sink all of them, because this task force had been in battle the turn prior with a smaller enemy force. So, with 3 of my expendable armored cruisers lost, the old 4,000 tonners, and the 2 others heading home to be, well, one will be a museum ship. It's gonna deserve that. And the other one will, let's see, there they are. Probably just get scrapped. But they did their jobs, and the enemy destroyer force has been greatly diminished. I've sent in my my 2 new battlecruisers to help. They are, well, they're brand new, so of course they are fully stocked on ammunition. And it would be nice to see them in battle. And following that disastrous battle, the American population has revolted. I don't want to be your allies. There we go. And here we go. The new battlecruisers have arrived. And the enemy force no longer contains any capital ships because we sank those. Still quite a few destroyers though, so gotta be a little bit careful. Alright. Let's get this done. We've got, oh yeah, we got 4 battleships. I think I sent the Bayezid home to port, because it was completely out of ammo. And seeing as they no longer have any capital ships here, the big 17-inch guns are not really that needed. Here we go, brand new battlecruisers. It's not damaged, it's just the image hasn't updated yet. And these guys can just follow the battleships, I guess. Torpedo boats. I lost 1 in the previous fight. That's not too bad. Destroyers. I've still got all 8 of them. And they have all their torpedoes back. Because torpedo resupply, for some reason, is much quicker than ammunition resupply. You typically get all your torpedoes back next month. Not always, but typically. Meanwhile, ammunition resupply is a lengthy process. I think I just want to open up with some rather long-range torpedo swarms against the enemy destroyer swarms, just to kind of soften them up. Torpedo boats, you don't have quite as long range yet. I've decided I'm just going to wait with refitting them until I get the next torpedo upgrade. My torpedo boats are currently 3 different classes. It's the 94s, and it's the copy of the 94-2s, and the 98s. It used to be that when you made a copy design, and you then made a another refit for the original design, you could also refit the copies, and they'd just be 1 class again. But that's no longer possible. I'm not sure if that's because of DIP or 1.7. Could be either. Sultan Salim has already opened up with her 15-inch Mark IIs. Let's drop you down to cruising speed. Same with the dreadnoughts. You're gonna put your guns on save though, because you're very low on ammo. We got someone in the smoke there. Can just target one each, I guess. Not in range yet, but they're gonna be soon. No hits scored. But there we go. We got torpedo range. Almost. No, I said I was gonna launch towards the destroyer swarms, but actually let's target the ones in the back. And then hopefully hit as many destroyers as possible. Actually, I changed my mind again. We're gonna target those cruisers. And then just kind of hope for the best. Alright. And I almost forgot about these guys. No. Not turn. Target. And this is stuff you really have to pause the game to do. Otherwise you're just gonna accidentally issue a turn order because the targets are so small. There we go. Guns are actually doing things. Torpedoes are doing things. Torps off. Des Moines sinks. Good. Secondary guns almost in range of those first destroyers. We got 12 torpedo hits out of that initial volley. These destroyers are getting away. And my battlecruisers both switched main gun targets. You're gonna have to turn those main guns back to something more worthy. Set the secondaries to target the light cruiser. Six-inch secondaries should be capable of that. Yeah, it doesn't have that much armor. And you guys are messing up your formation. So I need to speed up to in the front. Slow down you two. Black Hawk is coming in. The secondary to target Black Hawk. There we go. Actually, you can go for Connington. The Black Hawk is getting peppered by secondaries. Send in the torpedo boats. What are you doing now? I was really thinking the formation stuff had gotten fixed because it worked so well previously. But now it's like everyone has once again forgotten how to follow the ship in front of it. Minneapolis goes down. Secondaries on Vicksburg, maybe. Let's see. Torpedoes. 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 can just egress home. There we go. Torpedoes are hitting targets. Most of the enemy destroyers and torpedo boats managed to squeeze through though, but it's not too surprising. Yeah, I think we can gun down this enemy task force. Let's see, I had, where did they go to? Got these two destroyer groups. You're good to go once again. These two heading far away. Yeah, they can just keep going. Let's have the battlecruisers on the thumbnail. Yeah, Yavuz has done some work. But you can see, not so much. Not yet. They don't quite have the crew experience of my battleships, which are all veterans by now. And also I think their like tower accuracy is just not that good. Don't remember off the top of my head what it was, but it was the stats were kind of unimpressive. There we go. Pretty big hits. Can target one each, I guess. Bring it in closer. Good hits on Springfield. It's probably going down. Hit flash fires on Springfield as well, which I think is the end of her. Keeps flash firing. And one more for good measure. I think you're out of main gun turrets there. There we go. we have another one on Montgomery. Those it keeps popping off. That's some fireworks right there. That's the flash fire spreading chance. Which is something you can't really eliminate in like 1900, 1910. Especially not if you're running ballistite and picric acid. That's kind of asking for it. Are you firing your main guns at a destroyer? Maybe that's not a terrible idea, but the secondaries will suffice. Before my destroyers are coming back, I can do another torpedo run. Huge hits on Wainwright. Even the 2-inch guns are opening up. Dent goes down. You've launched torpedoes at something. Targeting bot bottles hided in. Yeah, you guys got 5-kilometer torpedoes. No side of that torpedo might have just missed. Probably can see, can you outsail those? Yeah, you can. I can slow down again. No. There we go. Yeah, just gonna go straight and try and outsail them. Yeah, it's fine. Alright. Main guns on Atlanta and Montgomery. This torpedo boat chasing us. You can put the secondaries to use. I think slamming on the brakes here and turning would be a better idea. Quite turning fast enough. I should have turned into it instead. But my initial plan was to like outsail it. That's not necessary anyway, because it was a dud. Well, this guy is out of torpedoes. It's not really a big threat. What's your torpedo range with your remaining 3 kilometers? We just kind of have to say keep 3 kilometers away. Put that AP to use. Give you semi-armor piercing for a reason. You should be good at dealing with destroyers and torpedo boats with that. There you go. 4-inch gun from a destroyer, main belt pen for 3,000. These poor guys are a bit low on ammo. Secondaries from Yavuz. It's begun targeting Ares. Which is not gonna need much convincing to sink. Ares sinks. How much armor do you have? 0.5. Yeah, well, AP is the right choice. Let's see, like that. We'll save the last 2 torpedoes for armored cruiser. No, wait. You guys are turning your torpedoes off. We're saving those for the 2 light cruisers. There we go. Sank 1 torpedo boat with the destroyers. Which is destroyers finally doing what they're supposed to be doing. Like according to their original concept. Hella no. Will probably sink. Yeah, definitely sink. You got one torpedo remaining there, Kincaid. This is going to be my destroyers or the secondaries on the battlecruiser taking care of Kincaid. Torpedo destroyed. No, you did launch it first, though. You had one torpedo remaining, you launched it, and then it got destroyed. That don't make no sense. But you're still afloat, and I want to sink you. It should be going down. I don't think they have anything left other than these, oh, 4 ships. There we go. We're causing a little bit of flooding. But we're not really hitting that much either. Dash 8 and Dash 5 are gonna go and torpedo the light cruisers. Just want to bring you in a little closer first. Actually, let's just do you 2 independent. Covington has surrendered. I don't think the torpedoes from Dash 8 are... Yeah, no, they're gonna hit, I think. Yeah, no, we're gonna get torpedo hits here. And deleted. Watch out, Atlanta. We'll go auto selection now. Atlanta launched torpedoes of her own, but They're not gonna hit. She's actively avoiding the torpedoes from Dash 5 though. Still taking one. Let's bring Balikasir and Yavuz closer in. Battleships are completely dry. But the battlecruisers have plenty of ammo. And they're also in the best position. Get closer and delete the Atlanta. Which only has 3-kilometer torpedoes, so we can get quite close, quite comfortably. We're firing HE. It's not going to be enough for the main belt or the conning tower, but it's going to go through the extendeds. But the main belt is the thing I need to pen. I'm going to bring Yavuz up alongside her. Just fire HE in the meantime. That's fine. Drop down to some cruising speed again. Atlanta is not going anywhere soon. Going at only 9 knots. She's got a battlecruiser 5 times her size barreling down upon her. Ooh, there we go. Yeah. That was, I think, full pens from HE at the end there. Yeah, that was a overwhelming victory. Very little damage, taking only 6 crew loss. No ships lost, and entire enemy task force sunk. Now, with no more enemy ships to fight, first of all, I have a lot of ships out at sea that don't need to be out at sea. Because the invasion requirements here are not that high. This says needed tonnage 86,000, but that's still counting the American task force that was in the area. So I'm just gonna send some ships to some ports. One of these will be a museum ship, one of these will be scrapped. So yeah. Some of the older pre-dreadnought battleships and cruisers from Livorno also heading to Heraclea to get turned into mothballed museum ships. And I'm gonna try and keep one of each. And the rest will get scrapped. Because we're getting to that point where some of the early 1890s ships are just too obsolete to do anything with. But wouldn't you know it, there's another American task force here. In fact, I want to send these so they can pound that port if anything else comes out of it. These that I was actually sending to port because they've successfully invaded Portuguese Guinea. They can intercept this force instead. Yeah. And when all that is said and done, I think we still have time to design some armored cruisers. Because I'm going to need a couple new ones after scrapping a lot of the old ones. Britain and Netherlands. And France. Alright. Yes. I got my properties. Fine. So these will have to be sent to port. China is one of the nations I really don't want to fight. Well, they don't have a navy. So let's just improve those relations. Now my monthly balance is looking much better. Didn't we get a fight here? Oh, I guess they moved here instead. We can take care of that then. And these will have to get sent to port. I'm gonna send half to Constantinople. And the other half to Lisbon. Already got the storage there, so that's fine. And then the plan is when the 2 next battleships are finished, I'm gonna have one of those and two of these per task force, and I will have 2 like main battleship task forces, which is a little bit more flexible than just having one. Anyway, let's do a cruiser on cruiser fight first. Let's hope we've got some more ammunition for those 11-inch guns. Now this cruiser is in port, which is why it generated the mission, but even spending 2 months in port is not enough to resupply all the ammunition. There we go, Pueblo. 6.3-inch main belts at 30% quality. Oh yeah, we can pen that. And this is measured against, I think it is 105%. So we can definitely pen that. Mark 111s, 9.8 kilometer range, 3 kilometer torpedoes. It's not their latest ship, that's for sure. My guns surprisingly don't outrange them by that much. I got a lot more of them though. Got a 10-gun broadside to their 4-gun broadside. Oh yeah, there we go. I think you're outclassed here, Pueblo. Yeah, she's going down. Hopefully we can sink her before she does any damage to Mahmoudiya. I don't have to pay for repairs. And mission successful. Excellent. And there was also a an ambush mission. Chattanooga and Norris. Also two ships that I assume were auto sent to port for repairs. Yeah, let's see what we can do with 4 destroyers of the DD-10 class. Alright, torps off. And I want to split you in 2 groups. Southwest. There you are. .1 kilometer torpedoes. I can comfortably get a bit closer. Just circle around like that. We're actually scoring some hits with the tiny 4-inch pop guns. -4 can stay on target. And if she has to launch again, if the first volley of torpedoes fail to sink the Chattanooga. We got 1 torpedo hit. That's a bad angle, really. And torpedoes just missed Norris. Duds, probably? Ah, no. Successful hit. I think 1 was a dud. And Chattanooga is pretty much crippled. So, 01 and 02 have a fairly easy time of putting more torpedoes into her. These 2 can play with their guns, trying to hit the Norris. $18 million. Okay. My destroyers are about the same cost as their light cruiser. They pay a price for those turbine engines. Well, here we go. Can I squeeze through these? I think I can. It barely hit me. I kind of drifted into it. Let's drift back and put those torpedoes into the side of Chattanooga. But those torpedoes, I think I have to, like, outsail them instead. Yeah, no. Didn't really avoid those. But Chattanooga definitely did not avoid. And she's gonna sink. Oh, that looked like it was gonna miss, but misjudged it. It's fine. The damage is actually not that bad. It's mostly flooding. My own torps aren't really hitting the the enemy destroyer though, but my guns are being quite effective. What kind of armor did you have there, Norris? 1 inch. And these guys figured out they should be shooting AP. Or belt pen, 700. My cruising speed, 17 knots. There we go. Getting good pens on it now. Dash 3 almost has torpedoes ready. Not sure if that's going to be needed. Yeah, Norris has no guns left. It's going to be a while until she's reloaded the torpedoes. There we go. That's probably the end of Norris. Yes, it is. And Dash 2 is going to have those torpedoes sail past her on both sides. Good. Now, transport capacity back up to 200%. So we're going to bump that down. Gonna... It's so expensive. I'll at least do 60. And I think we're gonna get some money from the United States now very soon. Let's see how much that is and how much we can budget towards new armored cruisers. Mark 3 10-inch guns in 43 months. Got the Mark 3 9s though, which is pretty nice. We're getting new torpedoes in 9 months. Light Cruiser 2. Wait, is that obsolete? Yeah, obsolete. So we're not getting any new cruiser hulls. So that's a pretty good time to build a new ship with 9-inch guns as its main battery. But the war continues though. And here we go. We have a meeting. So maybe that ship design will be next episode instead. As will probably this battle. I don't think it's going to take too long. It's not going to be an hour-long battle, but it's an ancient armored cruiser, 4,000 tonner. It's going to take a little while to sink them. This is a fresh task force, though. They got all the ammunition. So no worries there. Goodbye, and take care.